ushindi kwa ukombozi wetu. Tujitoe wenyewe, tusimame pamoja kulinda uhuru na umoja wetu. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote, tuimbe pamoja, kuenzi shikamano hatima yetu. Tujitoe wenyewe kupambana pamoja, uhuru na umoja vitawale. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote na tujibidishe kutoa kilicho bora kwa Afrika, chimbuko la wanadamu, chemchemi ya utamaduni, tumaini letu wakati wa mafarakano. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima.
Tulifanye Africa mti wa mzima. Let us make Africa the tree of life. My name is Kato Mukasa, and of course this is Humanist TV Africa, and in the studio with my colleague Yusen Baya, based in Kenya. I am a Ugandan, interested in issues, human rights, issues, development, politics, governance, leadership, and of course, issues humanism. Today, we are handling humanist parenting. I'm a humanist, and of course, I'm interested in issues, children, raising children that are responsible, that are critical, that are not extremists, moderate, humble, hardworking, very focused, disciplined children. Those are the children I'm looking forward to raising. Now, as a teacher, I've been a teacher since 1999. And I'm a lawyer. I'm an advocate, interested in promoting justice, interested in keeping law and order, interested in the rule of law. Now, when I talk about humanist parenting, I wear all those hats. I wear all those hats of a teacher, of a lawyer, of a parent, of a humanist leader, and of course, of the citizen of the world. The question people ask me is, you are an atheist. You don't believe in dogma. You don't believe in gods. You don't believe in miracles. You believe in science. You trust science, though science can make mistakes. You want empirical evidence. You want logic. You use logic, rationale. You are evidence-based. How come that actually your children are going to Christian schools? How come that actually your children attend church? Yeah, they ask me personal questions. And I tell them, yes, it's true that the mothers of my children basically are individuals that have their own life. And I don't need to force any of my beliefs to them. If the mother of the child wants the child to go to church, so be it. If the mother of the child wants the child to be in a Christian-founded school, so be it, because it may have the best standards in the area. After all, I went to Christian-founded schools and I became the best person I can be. I was trained by the Catholics. I went through Christian schools, and I'm proud that I went there. They were hard on me. They were strong disciplinarian, but they gave me the best skills. The best skills. They gave me that raw foundation on which I built on. So I appreciate them. Now, if we allow our children to attend Christian schools, Muslim founded schools, Christian founded schools, if we allow our children to go to churches, to associate with children that have been brainwashed, to associate with children going to madrasa, therefore, how sure are we that we shall have humanistic oriented children? That our children will turn out to be like us? People ask me a question, what are we going to do? Because we are few in number. They are the majority. They have the money. They have the resources. What are we going to do? We are few atheists. We are few humanists. The community is full of religious people. Are we going to fight everyone? I said no. Are we going to build our schools? I say yes, if we can. But if our schools are low standard, am I going to take my child in a low standard school because it's a humanist school? No, the answer is no. And I've refused to take them to such schools. They can be humanist schools, but poor standards, low-class schools. Why should I take my child in a low-class school, low-standard school, because it's a humanist school? No. I'll look for a school better for my child. So the question would be, how then can I help my child turn out to be better, to be a critical thinker? What can I do? So I tell them, this is what I've done. If the mother of the child wants to go to the church with the child, I will never stop the mother of the child to go to church with the child, because the mother of the child has a right over her children. It is her children. She has a right. Why should I stop her from taking her to church? Why should I stop her from taking my children to church? They should go to church. They should go and hear what happens in the church. But when they come back, what do? I interrogate them. I engage them in a discussion. I ask them if what the pastors said, if what the imam has said makes sense. Now, that is the first stage to introduce critical thinking, logic, and rationale in the young minds. Entertain their questions. When they come back from society disease with religious indoctrination, ask them questions. Let us look at the first video and see if children watched this video and you engage them, can they think better? Let us look at this first video. Hussein Baya is going to show us this video. Have a look and then see the questions I would ask a child who has watched such a video. Let us have a look at the first video. Remember, we're talking about humanist parenting. How do we raise children that are able to ask questions, make them observe? Let us have a look at this video, Baya, if it's ready. And then we shall continue with this discussion. However, if the video is not ready, you can have a look at the images, Baya. You can have a look at the images, and then we continue.
Which is not bearing fruit. Now with this fruit, it will begin to bear fruit. Look.
Which brethren, what is happening to the gentleman? The moment he got this fruit.
Stop in Jesus' name.
44 now. And you can see young one is laughing at that hopelessness. He throws all
whatever you are doing over there which is not bearing fruit, now with this fruit it will begin to bear fruit. Look.
Which brethren, is what is happening to the gentleman?
Oranges can make
The
miracles with
moment
this
you cut this
manuscript. It's called
fruit.
Pastor
Stop.
Kande,
Stop in
one of the
Jesus' name.
corny artists in Uganda. And they say, a young person is going to laugh at that nonsense. How do you throw a mango to a person and then the person falls down and it becomes a miracle? Now ask a child, show the child such a very brief 1 minute, 2 minute video and say, does it make sense? Do you think that if I threw this mango to you, this orange to you, this carrot to you, could make a miracle in your life? Could make you fall? Could like shock you as if electricity has shocked you? Do you think it's real or someone is acting? Trust me, a child is intelligent is going to say they are acting. That's a lie. You are introducing seeds of doubt. You are building doubting Thomases in the young one's brain by slowly introducing a few things that challenge their thinking. Get the videos from these churches, from these imams, get their speeches, summarize them. Get a speech of a radical imam in your society, talking about the moon, Allah, and all this nonsense. Summarize it in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, because children have a limited span of attention. Make it a 3-minute video. Show them what the imam says and ask them, does it make sense? They are going to be asking questions. If a pastor says he does this miracle, watch this video. Does it make sense? With the time, a child is intelligent, is going to be like, wow, I think it's a lie. You are opening up their thinking to a different paradigm shift. Let us look at other slides we have prepared for this show, and that we shall be able to learn more from them. Baya, let us look at these other slides. Here are some of the slides I've selected. I come from a Catholic background. I went to strictly Catholic schools, and we could see priests basically showing us hopeless images of Jesus Christ and Mary, and tell us to carry them, and tell us to bow down before them, and tell us to kneel down before them and pray, so that those stupid images can make us pass exams. I repeat, I went to Catholic schools where stupidity was being told as if it was real. Stupidity, fiction, lies were being taught in the Catholic schools I went to by priests, big men, by nuns, big women, telling us that Maria or Mary gave a virgin birth to Jesus, and telling us to bow down and worship Mary. That is nonsense. Now, tell your child that there's no way a bag of cement mixed with sand, put on color, is becoming a god. It's impossible. Look what the other man kneeling down before a pastor in Nigeria. A pastor Suleiman in Nigeria, a man kneels down before another man to get blessings because the other man is a God sent. Does it make sense for a man to kneel down before another man, that another man can bless this other man? It doesn't make sense at all. Look at the other image of another corn artist who died recently, Pastor T.B. Joshua in Nigeria. He was saying that when he puts anointing oil in that chair, you will get healed, you will get money, you will get blessing. The question is, ask a child, if I put this anointing oil, if I put cooking oil in the chair and I tell you to sit in it, will you sit in that chair? A normal child will tell you, no, daddy, no, mommy, the chair is going to be dirty. I won't sit in it because it has oil in it. I will not sit on oil. Now, a pastor makes big adults, stupid, brainwashed adults, to sit in a chair with oil and tells them, sit in this oil, this anointing oil, you will get money. An intelligent child is going to reject that fallacy. Let us look at other images very, very fast. Very, very fast this time around. Very fast, Bayan. Look what the Muslims. How can someone with a sound brain go ahead and kiss? Bayan, take us on the other image of a Muslim kissing a wall in Saudi Arabia. A Muslim kissing a wall in Saudi Arabia, and they call it worship. Now, how many people are kissing that wall, and how dirty can that wall be? That is partly a way to spread coronavirus. That is partly a way to spread airborne diseases. But they go to Saudi Arabia to kiss a dirty wall, and they call it a wall of blessings. Now, that's how Muslims, radical, brainwashed Muslims think. And that is stupidity. I repeat it. Brainwashed Muslims go to Saudi Arabia to kiss a wall which is dirty, and that is stupidity of the highest degree. Tell your children never to be stupid like these people who go to kiss a wall that has been kissed by millions of dirty people. Tell them it is being stupid to go ahead and kiss such a wall. So let us go to other images. Look at this image and compare. Look at the image where the pastor has 3 lavish cars with a magnificent house. But look at the people who go to his church. They are sleeping in slums of Africa. They are sleeping in poor houses, makeshift houses. Look at the way the pastor and the family feeds. The imam, the church leaders, the way they eat at home on a high table. And look at the people who go to their churches, how they feed. Now, who is stupid here? The question is, who is stupid here? The answer is, it is the person who goes to church and donates their money to a people who are better than them. Teach it to your children, never to let their money go to feed people that are better than them. Let them not give their monies to pastors and priests and imams. Those imams, priests, and pastors have hands. Let them go and work. Tell your children to always value their money. Let us look at other images. Baya, very fast. The same. Look at Indonesia. In the 1960s, Indonesian girls were free. They used to go to school when they are smart, without hijab. The same thing was in Iran in 1960s. Today, Indonesian girls are covered from head to toe because of Islam. Islam is not a religion of logic. It's a religion of submission. It's a religion that promotes fear. It's a religion that promotes control. Look at the other image. Students, young Muslim students, go to class to study how to become terrorists. They go to madrasa classes to study how to become terrorists, how to pick guns and kill others in the name of Allah. Would you like your child to be taught how to kill others because they are not of the same religion like him? Or we'd rather say we change a religion to become moderate. Why do you teach people to go and kill others? Does your God tell you to kill people? Or your God tells you to love others? If your God tells you to go and kill others so that you can be able to go to heaven, then that God is not worth following. Tell our children, do not kill others. It's wrong to take a life for whatever reason. If a religion tells you to go and kill others, that religion is wrong. Let us look at other images. Yeah. Tubman, that woman, Harriet Tubman, saved black people from slavery in the USA. And Jesus never did. Jesus never saved the black people from slavery in USA. In fact, Jesus promoted slavery. The ship that was used to take slaves in the USA and Europe was actually called Jesus. Yet that woman started a struggle that awoken people to fight for justice. Jesus never helped them to get out of slavery. Black people helped themselves to get out of slavery. So teach them the difference between Tubman and Jesus. Jesus never helped them. That lady right there helped them. Let us go ahead with other images. Teach your children. When you look at those images, now children in Africa, teach them. Why do they worship a God that doesn't resemble them? If they are to worship a God, why should they be worshiping a God that doesn't resemble them? What crime have the black people done to be worshiping a Caucasian God when Indians worship a God that resembles them, when Chinese worship a God that resembles them, when Caucasians worship a God that resembles them? How come that people, black people, worship a God that doesn't resemble them? Ask your children that question. Tell them that, okay, let us start with first principles first. Shouldn't a God be resembling you? Why should a God be resembling your colonizer? A person who came to colonize you? A person who came to enslave you? To steal your land? To take your resources? And then you are going to worship a God that resembles this person. If you are to worship a God, what's wrong with your ancestral gods? Then we'll ask them those questions, then give them a right and say, even your ancestral gods are useless. Don't worship any God. Stay away from gods. Finish. Tell them no God works. The Europeans brought you their God, but their God has not worked for you. No God works. It's you against the world. Think for yourself and do good better. So tell them about the truth about life. Introduce them to humanism, which I'll be talking about in the next episode, and then talk about faith, the truth about faith. Having faith that something is true does not make it true. Having faith that does not make it probably true. Having faith has no bearing on truth whatsoever. Having faith simply means you will believe it when it is true or not. Tell them not to have faith. Tell them that faith is believing things without evidence. Faith means you believe without evidence. Why should we believe without evidence? Get evidence, get empirical facts. Thank you so much, Baya. And thank you so much, our viewers, for such a wonderful time. Baya, back to me. And that has been our show today, a very brief one on humanist parenting. I was taking you through the steps, brief summarized steps I will use, or I use, to train my children to think. Simple, calculated, well-measured steps I'm taking to make my children think. They can go to church, but I would bank whatever they are studying for being part of us. And see you in the next one. Please remember to subscribe to Humanist TV Africa. See you in the next show.